Hello, so this is a little bit different. If you've been following along on this channel, you may have seen my film reviews and stuff, but you may not really know anything about me. My name is Prasanna, I'm a filmmaker, physics graduate, and terrible dancer. I recently moved to London to study VFX and animation at Metfilm School. I've made a lot of live action short films and I hope to continue doing that whilst I'm here, as well as work on other people's shoots. These past 2 weeks, I've moved to London, I got started in visual effects, and I got to work on a TV advert. It's been quite overwhelming, and I'd like to tell you all about it. In this video, I'm going to start by talking about learning visual effects from the very beginning, and what it's like to work at Metfilm School. If you think that's something you'd be interested in, or something you may even want to try yourself, this is the video for you. Before I did this course, I had done some visual effects stuff, but not a hell of a lot. During lockdown, I started learning Blender, which is a free visual effects software. The last update on Blender has really elevated what anybody with the right skills can achieve. I'm starting to see a lot of content creators that are making incredibly high quality effects with the software. What I did was a YouTube tutorial series from Andrew Price, aka Blender Guru, on how to make a donut in Blender. This series is an excellent way of progressing right from the very beginning on not knowing anything about 3D software to understanding the basic principles. It then gave me the confidence to model my own objects. Other than that, I hadn't done anything before my course at Metfilm. The program at Metfilm is a 6-month full-time course, and it's said to take pupils from the very beginning up to a professional level. Having some experience, even though it was a completely different software, was hugely beneficial, because the principles of 3D are the same regardless of what you use. Even though it is for beginners, it's really intensive. My first day, I was introduced to Maya, and by the end of the day, I had rendered an image set in its own environment, lit with an HDRI. An HDRI is a 360-degree image of an environment that can be used to give lighting information for your scene. It was quite a lot for a first day, especially given we were all unfamiliar with Maya, but you immediately could see how it was possible to render realistic materials in the software. My class is taught by Nick Savvy, who is a professional VFX modeler. He's worked on many films throughout his career and tells us incredible stories of working in the industry. He did this shot from Batman Begins. Nick wanted us to get used to modeling in Maya, so he tasked us to make a cool chair. I made this weird reclining chair with wheels, and out of boredom made this space chair. So the things we were making weren't particularly realistic. Nick therefore decided to get us to model a real chair and try and make our own versions exactly like that version. It was really tricky and quite time consuming, but we eventually made a lot of progress there. The thing that we found really difficult to do was the process of UV unwrapping our models. UV unwrapping is where you take an object and flatten it out to its foldable net. You then have to tell the software how you want a material surface to distribute across the net. So if you were modeling a tiger, this would be how you dictate where the stripes are and how close they are. It's difficult because unfolding an object isn't necessarily obvious, and you have to figure it out each time. After much pain getting to grips in Maya, we then started to work in compositing with the software Nuke. Compositing is the process of combining different layers of film together, and Nuke is an incredible tool to help us do that. We used it to track a wall as the camera moved, and we could then remove or add pieces to the scene. We then went on to using Nuke's 3D tracking capabilities. So we were bringing 3D models to a scene and integrating it into something we've already shot. So my class has only 6 people. There were supposed to be 2 others, but they unfortunately can't do the course at this time because of COVID-19. It's pretty weird trying to work in this pandemic era. We have big perspex screens separating each of us, and we're generally told to keep our distance. This course progresses a lot, so I'm concerned about getting sick, partly because of the amount of content I'd have to catch up on. For now though, it's been really fun, and the small class environment has been really useful because Nick can help us all out individually if needed. Also, Metfilm School is built right next to Ealing Studios. I haven't got the chance to go in there yet, but it just makes going to class every day exciting, because movies are literally being made around me. Andy Serkis has a production company called Imaginarium Studios that is based right there, and we were told if we're lucky, he'd come round and say hi, because he's done that in the past. Guess I'm just gonna have to work really hard every day, just in case he randomly shows up. In terms of the future, we're going to continue learning different things, and then we're going to work on a team project, and then after that we're going to work on a personal project. We've had some brief chats, but we don't really know what we're going to create together. I'm really excited though, because this course is trying to create the production company environment, and collaborating on films together is really fun. Is there any aspect of visual effects you'd like to hear more about? Or would you like to hear more about my London filmmaking life? Let me know in the comments and I'll endeavour to give you an answer. I'd like to make a few different kinds of videos, some on films, some on filmmaking, so do let me know what you think. For now though, do remember that despite this pandemic, or what you may hear on the news, the truth is, film can't